We also have the problem that people doing the same job are not getting the equal pay. We therefore want to remind our social partners, the main source of social partners, the government, to address this issue of standardization. Your Honor, since the launch of ILO promoted decent wage program, which the government as a key stakeholder there, the Zambia Federation of Employers is also a key stakeholder there, and the workers' representatives came up with this program in 2007. This program, Your Honor, I'm sure you're aware about it. There are three key areas that this program, when it was formulated, was supposed to help the situation of job creation. When we talk about job creation, Your Honor, we are also talking about the quality of jobs. Once the jobs are created, are they quality jobs? We also talk about the issue of gender and equality and equity. We also talk about the issue of HIV/AIDS in workplaces, elimination of child labor, especially the worst form of child labor. Since the launch, like I said, this program was mainly funded by the ILO in 2007 and was revised and launched between 2009 and 2010 to develop and evaluate framework to incorporate the responses of the global economic crisis. We have not, as workers of this country, seen or felt the significant changes in the nature of jobs. We still have high expectations under the program in terms of providing decent work environment, job security, social protection, fair income. The secured employment should offer better prospects for personal development and allow workers the right to organize and participate in the free collective bargaining for improved conditions of service. We are aware that Zambia is a signatory to some of the ILO conventions. In this regard, I am referring to ILO Convention 87 and ILO Convention 98. These are conventions that give the right for workers to organize themselves and to freely collective bargain. We also have the Industrial Labor Relations Act, number 27 of 1993. It gives a leeway to the bipartite, that's the employer, whether government or the private sector, and the respective unions that present the workers to negotiate freely. We seem to have a problem in the area of the minimum wages. I know the minimum wages was increased from 268 to 419. We have a problem in this area because some of the employers, the minimum wage just sets the minimum. When you meet the tripartite, that's the government, the employers, and the union or workers' representatives, at the level of the tripartite consultative labor council, we arrived at a minimum of 419. But I wish to report that this minimum wage in some of the companies, that some of the government officials, even the opposition leaders, they have got companies, they have got farms. And when you go to those companies and their farms, you find that the workers are not even given the right even to know how they arrive at some of the money they give them. So this is a very big problem which we need to address. Fellow workers, Your Honor, the theme also reminds us of our social partner, that's the government, to prioritize the policy formulation in creating sustainable jobs, safeguard the existing ones, ensuring that adequate social protection, eradication of poverty, and the promotion of education for all. This is also in line with some of the objectives of the Millennium Development Goals and Vision 2030. As workers, under the Zambia Congress of Trade Unions, we are demanding that under this scheme, urgent action to address many of the issues challenging Zambian workers. We also have the problem in the informal sector. According to labor force in our country, there are about 5 to 6 million of people who are supposed to be in employment. Out of that, on site above 500,000 are in formal employment, meaning that the difference are in the informal sector. So we are aware that more than 90% of the workers in this country are in this sector, which is the informal sector. It forms an important factor of our social means of livelihood and survival. It is in our public interest and elsewhere that we stop ignoring to discriminate the informal economy and move decisively to help transform the sector in wealth creation. What the results of the informal sector will depend on three supportive developments. Number one, the expansion of formal employment. Number two, formalizing informal enterprises. And three, raising the productivity and return of informal workers. These outcomes, Your Honor, are when they are closely linked to the provision of workers' rights, social protection, and representation of workers in the informal economy. It is therefore important that government sets clear priorities and focus strategic action on employment promotion, poverty reduction, capital formation, skills development. Further, government must address risks and uncertainty in informal economy, given its strategic nature in the development agenda. On social protection, Your Honor, we continue to bemoan the lack of essential elements of social justice in the point of provision of social protection in Zambia. To help people to lift out of poverty. Workers suffer when they are out of employment, when they can't accidents at workplaces and thereby unable to support their families. We are in a situation, Your Honor, which I know you are aware, that you have a big card of people who have retired, and some of them have not been paid for more than 5 to 10 years. This we think is not correct, and we ask your government, Your Honor, to address this situation. We also have the Workers' Compensation Act, which is not conforming to the current scenario. When a worker is injured, especially in the mines and other sectors, we find that the benefits that are accrued to those individuals are not commensurate to the kind of economy that we have now. We appeal to the government that we should accelerate or start the process of amending the Compensation Act. The privatization of social protection schemes in the current economy, with a rising unemployment level and informalization of jobs as well as canalization, has left local workers no form of protection. Government must therefore guarantee persistent social protection in order to increase our access to social services by vulnerable in society. Education, health, and safety. Your Honor, fellow workers, the issue of working in dangerous hazardous environments is also another worrying factor, especially now that most employers focus on profit than the welfare of workers. We would like to call on your government, Your Honor, and other social partners like the employers, the association of employers, to include clauses on occupational health and safety in collective agreements, and also to ensure that other instruments aimed at safeguarding the health of workers are agreed upon in bipartite and tripartite meetings. We need to uphold these pillars of development. We therefore call upon the key stakeholders, that's the government and employers, to harmonize approaches for us to be consistent with our set intentions and implementation action. Issues of tackling the impact of disadvantage must have consensus and clear dialogue at workplaces. On the political front, Your Honor, as workers of this country, we earnestly appeal to all key players in the country to embrace tenets of democracy by avoiding ourselves in doing the war of words against each other at the expense of spending the energies for resolving problems facing the nation. The labor movement, Your Honor, will not, and I repeat, will not support the atmosphere of political violence and intolerance among political players. as we go towards the tripartite direction. However, as a labor movement, we shall support and participate in the various activities
If it's fast, I need to go there.
justice, respect for human rights, and dignity respectively. Fellow workers, the struggle continues. I want to tell us that we cannot try to get our economic gain as a working class without struggle. Without struggle from our various levels, we definitely use the desire without if we continue to be united. We have observed that on many occasions, our rights are not being fully respected. We have, however, observed with sadness that some unscrupulous employers have taken serious advantage of the high unemployment situation in the country to victimize and exploit workers. They have taken advantage of the high unemployment level to subject workers to unbearable conditions of work, knowing that workers are desperate for employment and will not complain. This is inhuman, exploitative, and unacceptable. This type of feeding has driven some employers to scale down on staffing levels in their companies, and in the process overwork the few available workers. It is in this effort that labor laws become highly important for the protection of basic workers' rights and promotion of human dignity. In conclusion, Your Honor, fellow workers, it is my sincere hope that this day marks another day of significance in our lives. I would like to thank you once again for attending this event, and I would also want to commend all those employers who have taken up the challenge of awarding deserving workers. Please keep it up, and the good Lord bless you all. Viva Workers Movement! Viva!
Viva!
Thank you very much.